AMT sequencer. In time assessment, two new options called T-start and T-end are added in the start and stop columns. By using these two options, the beginning or end of each state can be considered as the beginning or end of time assessment. To type the ID in capital letters is acceptable. If a number greater than or equal to 24 is entered in the start time field, the value is changed. Also, after running the test, the options in the On GPS field are disabled. When current outputs are in the form of Not Used, by right-clicking on the actual in the voltage output signal section and selecting one of the options, the software crashed, but this is now fixed. In previous versions, if you attributed an output to another group from one current or voltage group, there would be a problem creating ROCOF. For example, if you attributed the output of a current group B to the output of a current group A, this bug would appear. This is now fixed in the new version. If value assessment or any other tab is selected in measurement view, after opening the new file from the File menu, the Measurement View window is placed on the Time Assessment tab by default. If a file contains a value in Time Assessment, after erasing the results, the software would have crashed in earlier versions. This problem is now fixed. After testing, you cannot change the binary output status in the analog output table. In a step ramp, a new section called Step Ramp Display is created. This section contains two options, Value and Rate. The Value option is the same as before. Rate is used to test functions that work by changing the values of the two elements, such as overexcitation. In the overexcitation function, the rate of voltage and frequency changes, and the ratio to each other must be tested. One important point is that the chart in the fixed step time is the same as switching between options. After taking the ComTrade file from the software, if the related file lacks a digital signal, the 0D value for it will be recorded in the CFG file. AMT overcurrent. If there are points in a fault of a particular element, and then that element is removed, you can remove the points added in the removed element fault through the Remove All button. AMT distance. In the System Parameters section, a new field is created to allow the user to enter the line length in the Line Length section. Also, in the Short Test tab Points table, a new column called Fault Location is created that explains where the fault occurred on the load line. If points such as 1 and 2 are not on the load line, they are moved to new coordinates on the load line. AMT transducer and meter. The Clear Actual Data option is created by right-clicking on the table of points. This option can be used to remove the actual values of analog signals in the online meter test. AMT synchronizer. In the Short Test tab, after adding points, the names tripping and no tripping are changed to closing and non-closing. By changing reference signal in vector view, the delta phi lines are replaced. CB closed and close CMD vectors are added to vector view. These vectors are false by default. The pass and fail conditions of the points are changed to the placement of the CB closed vector within the allowed area of the operation. After changing the voltage value of system 2, its vector is optimized in vector view graph. If a point is added in the Synchronizer tab by using the Add button, the system vector 2 should be moved by changing the cursor in vector view. Current transformer. In secondary burden, a new column called iTestNom is added. If you change the frequency value from the Test Object tab, you will see the changes in vector view and the test result in the test of conversion ratio to the current method after selecting the Apply Test option. If you change the frequency value from the frequency field, you will see changes in the vector view and the test result in the test of conversion ratio to voltage method after selecting the Apply Test option. In the second stage of excitation test, the method field is placed on a current by default. If the init test is clicked in the first step After performing the second stage of excitation test, the software does not show crashed. After secondary burden and winding resistance test, the report is added by clicking Add to Report Chart in Signal View. Transformer. If tab control settings is on manual, the result section values in Continuity tab changer are calculated correctly. If you change the tab number or voltage value for one phase in the conversion ratio test, the other two phases would change. In magnetic balance, if there is a connection to the ground on the secondary side, the table names in magnetic balance result and the report are corrected. In the Plot tab, two checkboxes are created to view R-act and phase comparison on the weak pressure side.